You know, sometimes you just want a quiet afternoon at the park with your kid. And sometimes, well, the universe throws something at you that changes not just your life, but the whole neighborhood. That's how it started for Kesha Washington Saturday. Blue skies, Riverside Park, her daughter Amara flying high on the swings. Kesha's just sitting there, scrolling through her phone, doing what every tired parent does, trying to keep one eye on her kid and one on the world. She looks like just another single mom. Nothing special except she's got that way of sitting, back to a tree, keeping everything in view. A habit that never leaves you when your job is federal surveillance. Not TikTok. See, nobody in that park knows her as Special Agent Washington. To them, she's just Kesha, just a mom who brings snacks. Just the woman who laughs a little too loud when Amara nails the monkey bars. What they don't see is the text buzzing across her screen. Ongoing surveillance. Multiple incidents documented. They don't see the mental file she's been building for 3 weeks. Cataloging every look, every routine patrol, every family who's just stopped coming. Families like the Hernandez crew, the Rodriguez grandma and her nervous glances. They've all got stories too many run-ins. Too many times Officer Derek Whitman and his partner Maria Rodriguez have made it clear who belongs and who doesn't. But on this day, something snaps. It's almost like you could feel the air shift. Officer Whitman stomps across the playground, his voice slicing through the late afternoon chatter. Keep your ghetto spawn away from civilized children before they spread their diseases. Just like that, the whole playground freezes kids mid-swing, parents with coffee halfway to their lips. Kesha stands, slow and steady, and you can see she's fighting to keep her hands from shaking. "I'm sorry. What did you just say about my child?" She asks, calm as steel. "You heard me. Welfare queen." He spits back, stepping closer. And you know he's just begging for a reaction. And then out of nowhere, slaps her. Hard. The sound snaps through the park. So sharp it hushes every conversation. Makes even the birds go silent. Phones come up. People start filming. Amara lets out a terrified scream, running to her mom. Kesha just touches her cheek, memorizes his badge, and keeps her voice even. Because this isn't just another Saturday. Anymore, this is evidence. But let's rewind 3 hours. Before the world went sideways, Kesha was living a double life, balancing PDA calls with coded texts from federal supervisors. She's been undercover, documenting a pattern of discriminatory policing, watching how Officer Whitman treats Black and Latino families, how the complaints never go anywhere, how intimidation has become the norm here. Mrs. Rodriguez confides. They told Miguel he couldn't play on the big kid equipment. Said it was for appropriate families only. Every little story, every microaggression gets logged in Kesha's growing report. And it's not just her. Other parents are scared some stop coming after being harassed. Others teach their kids to keep their heads down. Even Amara's principal called, worried about concerning drawings and questions about whether police are good guys or bad guys. The tension's thick, like everyone's just waiting for something to explode. So, when Whitman shows up with that practice swagger and starts it on Kesha, threatening to call CPS, making digs about how she looks, it's not new, but this time, people are watching. Phones are out. Every word is getting documented. And when he finally lays hands on her, Kesha does exactly what she's been trained to Dostricom. Document everything. Let him dig his own grave. By nightfall, the videos are everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, local news. 3 separate angles, clear as day, show the slap, the verbal abuse, the crowd's outrage. Whitman files his report, full of lies about hostile subjects and threatening gestures. But his partner Rodriguez is visibly shaken. The narrative cracks open as other families share their own stories. "He told my son to empty his pockets for playing basketball. He said this park wasn't for people like us." Piece by piece, Kesha's evidence file turns into a federal case. And then comes the twist nobody saw coming. Calls start going up the chain. The police commander's phone rings. FBI on the line. Commander, you need to know the woman in yesterday's incident. She's Special Agent Washington, Civil Rights Division. She's been undercover for 3 weeks, building a case on discriminatory policing in your district. Suddenly, the sanitized incident report isn't just a cover-up, it's obstruction of justice. The shockwaves are instant. Whitman's called in. Rodriguez is suspended. The department scrambles as the FBI moves in. Walls covered in timelines and complaint charts. Investigators piecing together years of ignored grievances. 6 weeks later, the federal courthouse is packed. Reporters, activists, even families who never thought they'd see justice. Whitman's sitting at the defense table, stripped of his swagger, facing real consequences at last. The judge makes it clear, you violated your oath. You terrorized a community. You're going to federal prison and you're never wearing a badge again. But that's only the beginning. The court orders sweeping reforms, mandatory body cameras, community oversight boards, federal monitoring of complaints, hours of civil rights training for every officer. Rodriguez testifies about the toxic culture that protected guys like Whitman. Settlements are paid to the families. The whole department is forced to change. 1 year later, Riverside Park is transformed. Kids of every background play side by side. Parents relax on benches. And nobody flinches when a patrol car drives by. Kesha sits on that same bench, her daughter teaching another kid the monkey bars. Rodriguez, now a civilian, stops by to thank her. The training programs you helped design theory working. Officers actually know our names now. Things feel different. Kesha's phone buzzes a message from her supervisor. Phoenix PD needs help. Discriminatory policing. Interested? She just smiles. The fight's not over. There are still stories that need to be told. Still communities that deserve to feel safe. Sometimes, it takes one person standing up, one phone recording, one act of courage to spark change. Kesha's story is proof if you see injustice. Document it. Speak up. Refuse to stay silent. That's how real justice starts. So let me ask you, what would you have done on that park bench? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If you believe stories like this need to be heard, hit that like button, share with a friend, and keep watching for more. Because sometimes, the system works if we make it.